Hello everyone, welcome to my channel called Spiritual Awakening for You. My name is Violet and today's video I'm going to talk to you about what happens when pets pass away. So this is a fascinating topic and it's really beautiful because it's really magical when pets pass away, and even though we're really sad to miss them on the physical level, they don't disappear, they stay there in the energetic realm. We'll discuss that in a little bit. First, I want to talk to you about why pets come to us in the first place. Number one is to give us unconditional love, as in the case of dogs and guinea pigs in particular. You know, when your dog greets you at the door with a wagging tail, is he or she is really telling you that they really love you. That's their way of showing you how much they love you. And no matter how hard of a day you've had, you come home and you're greeted by that warm welcome. It just makes things seem so much better. And cats are energetic protectors of the house as well as bringing love. So you might think your cat is dozing off and sleeping a lot. Really, they're checking out the energy of the house, like guardians of the energy of the house. So they do a much more important job than you think they do. They are all here, as are all animals. They're all here to experience life in a physical body, just as we are as humans. Now, they don't communicate the same way we do it as humans. They communicate telepathically with each other. Even if it doesn't look like they're talking, there's something always going on in the ether. They are communicating with each other. I had two experiences of communicating telepathically with animals. Number one was my cat. Her name was Pearl. I heard her meow and she was asking for food. That was obvious. And I was just about to get her usual food, and then all of a sudden, right in my head, I had this really deep vision of a can of tuna, and she was telling me that that's what she wanted. She didn't want the old stuff, she wanted the good stuff. So I gave her the tuna. She was very happy with me. Lots of purring. Although I said to her, you can't have tuna too often because it does have mercury in it, so every now and again. And I had another experience communicating telepathically, this time with a horse. So this beautiful horse, this black and white brindle horse called Fred, he communicated with me telepathically. He would put his head against mine, third eye to third eye, and he would tell me all his worries. He would tell me what was going on the land. He told me that his owner was worried about not being able to pay the rent on the field, because I was doing natural horsemanship, or horse whispering as it's called. And I asked the owner, are you worried about paying the rent, and are you thinking of moving? And she told me she was, but she hadn't told anyone. And I told her that her horse told me that, and she was amazed. She couldn't believe that her beautiful horse could communicate telepathically in that way. And it's so much more of a quick way of communicating. Words are really slow. Telepathic communication is instantaneous. So basically, animals incarnate, as I said, to have an experience of a physical body. Usually animals go incarnate and they can change breeds. So my cat Sapphire, my black cat, I saw that she was a bear in a previous lifetime. It just came to me one day, just this image of her as a bear, and she's very happy in that lifetime. And then it's very unusual, but occasionally a pet has been a human before and then they incarnate as a pet. That's very, very unusual, but it happened in the case of my cat, my white Tonkinese cat called Pearl. She was a beautiful Egyptian lady, royalty, or at least very wealthy, and she had been my sister in another lifetime, and she decided to come back and be my cat in this lifetime to really give me unconditional love and to protect me, which was such a beautiful thing to do. So when pets go to heaven, when they pass away, they don't just disappear. They actually do one of three things. Number one, they go off to be healed, especially if they've had a really difficult end of life. Let's say they've had a disease or a really traumatic last part of their life. They go off to have their energy healed, and then they may come back, and then they may go off again. Number two, they stay with you permanently, which I'll tell you about my pets in a minute, but they can stay with you permanently, so they can be there all the time with you, and nothing changes, except it's even better because they can be with you all the time. Even when you're away from the house, they can follow you around, so you can have an even stronger connection with them than you did when they were in the physical realm. Lastly, they can go away and incarnate as another animal, or they can incarnate, and then if you call them back to visit, they'll come and visit you. And that happened, I'll tell you about my dog, Jasper, a miniature white schnauzer. He was being healed in the... He died. We had to euthanize him because he wasn't having any quality of life whatsoever. And I felt so guilty about this, but once he'd passed away, he came back and told me that I'd made the best decision that I could possibly make for him, and that he was truly grateful. So, you know, don't worry or feel guilty that you've given permission for a pet to be euthanized if they are really struggling or if they are suffering in any way, because you know what? They probably are really grateful for it, because they can't do that for themselves. They can't decide that for themselves. So don't feel guilty if your pet is suffering and you have to euthanize them or give permission for euthanasia. So my dog Jasper went away to be healed, came back to visit, and he looked younger and more radiant than he ever had, even as a puppy, when I saw him in the spiritual realm. Whereas my cat, Pearl, my white Tonkinese cat Pearl, she stayed with me and is still with me permanently. She follows me everywhere. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, and there she is sleeping next to my pillow, purring away, just sending me love and just enjoying that connection that we always had when she was in the physical realm. Except that she was healthy and radiant, and she too was grateful for the euthanasia, because she was also suffering terribly at the end of her life. But now I see her on the spiritual realm, and honestly, she's so radiant and full of love, and it just brings me joy every time I see her. One other example, my mom had a yellow lab called Sammy, and I was going about my chores. I didn't live with my mum. I was going about my chores, and all of a sudden a picture of him popped into my head, of him barking. She was at the computer and he was barking at her to try and get her attention. And I called her up and said, "Are you on your computer?" And she said yes. I said, "Sammy is barking at you, really wanting to know why you can't see him, why you're ignoring him. Please make an effort to communicate with him, because he really wants to let you know he's still there." So, have you seen any other pets, any of your pets or other people's pets that have passed away? Have you seen them since they've passed away? Please make a comment below. I'd love to know, because this is such a fascinating subject. Our pets just bring such joy to our lives, and it's so lovely to know that they're still there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care for now, and speak to you soon. Bye bye.